Oh, good morning, my Teaserking family. I did a quick late one yesterday, and gold's shooting up more. 34.22, silver right around 39. Uh, Safe to say this is not coming back. So this is starting to explode. I think we finally broke through 34 real. Last time it was because of the holiday. It got to 35. But then when whoever came back from the holiday put in their shorts, now this is real. This is 34. This is going to 35. Yeah, it's way to 4,000. So this should not be stopped. Silver should, I think once we hit 40 in silver, we'll see 50. It'll stop there because people are confused. They think 50 is physical, it's paper. So it's never been over 50 because it's been stopped. It's been derivative, optioned, Eddie Murphy. Well, once it breaks 50 in physical, it goes to 100 and then the 500. That's what we're waiting on. Let me get my coffee. All right, sorry about that. 34.23. We're running, we're rolling. Go, go, go. 10 o'clock will be the key. If we keep running at 10, which I think we will, we could get to 34.50 today. And a happy time for everybody because this is not coming back. Because it's the dollar being blown up. So there's nothing to bring it back. Everybody should be running out of the dollars into gold. All right. Let's go to college football. First, and then we're going to talk pro football. College football. One play yesterday, Nebraska under 59, 53 and a half. We went under 59 and a half. They win 20-17. Just what we drew up. South Florida 34-7 over Boise. Was that a surprise? No, not in week one. South Florida shows a very good defense, and they scored on a very good defense. Boise misses Gentry. See, this isn't a surprise. This is who South Florida is this year, and this is who Boise is this year. So this is why it's a whole new year. It's a whole new variable. Bowling Green 26-7 over Lafayette, a Division II team. Rutgers 34-31 over Ohio. The total here was 49. They scored 65. That was a surprise to score. How many were defensive touchdowns versus the offensive blowing up? I don't know. I have to look. But anyway, Rutgers shows more offense, and Ohio's a very good defense. So we'll have to get a better view of that. UCF 17, Jacksonville State 10. Now, this UCF was a 18, 19-point favorite. UCF's defense may be better, or Jacksonville State just sucks because Rich Rodriguez was the coach. Over-under was 52, so you got a 27 in this game. This is about what I think the Ohio State game will be, 17-10. Delaware beats Delaware State 35-17. Delaware is now a Division I team. Lou Monroe, 29-0 over St. Francis, probably their only win of the year. They're a Z team. Wyoming 10, Akron nothing. We did like Wyoming. We didn't play it because Akron's a W team, 32 defense. This is where it's surprising. But Wyoming with the new quarterback, I didn't think they'd score much, but I thought they'd beat Akron. And, Akron just is terrible. But it wasn't high scoring, right? 32 defense. Wyoming should have put up 30, 40 points, but they don't have the quarterback or the offense to do it. So that's what you take out of this. Now, I didn't play it, but I did want to bet against Akron, especially even. NC State 24, East Car 17. They win by 7. They were laying 14. They didn't cover. 30 defense. East Car got 17. Returning quarterback Hauser. Both teams had returning quarterbacks. So I'm a little surprised this game was a little bit lower scoring with 30 defenses. You would have thought a higher scoring game, but I didn't play. It was a 61 total. But again, too much risk to play the game. Duke beats Elon 45-17. Duke has the quarterback from Tulane. Missouri 61-6 over Central Arkansas. You get really no information because it's Central Arkansas. Oak State 27, Tennessee Martin 7. Little surprised Oak State only got 27. By the way, Ollie Gordon, that great running back from Oak State 2 years ago who didn't show up last year, looks pretty good for Miami Dolphins. He was drafted on the Dolphins, so we'll keep an eye on him and the Dolphins. Houston 27, Stephen F. Austin 0. Houston, good coach, Willie, can't think of his name, Willie Fritz, very good coach where he's been, always has a good defense, 27-0. Minnesota 23, Buffalo 10. They were laying 17. I did like Buffalo. Didn't play it. I did like them. Minnesota's defense came through. I like the under 45, and you can see 33. Minnesota's usually an under team. They'll play good defense. Their quarterback's a freshman, so you didn't expect a lot out of them. So I thought about playing this game under, but I didn't. I also thought about playing Buffalo because I knew Minnesota's quarterback wasn't going to give you much as a freshman. That's why you watch. Oh, the guy's a freshman. You got to bet him carefully. And then Buffalo only getting 10 points. That's about right against this Minnesota. They'll have a good defense. They had a 17 defense last year. So it's about what I thought, 23-10. It stayed under. Buffalo with the points was good. Hard to bet Minnesota with the freshman quarterback and lay 17 points against a decent Buffalo team. So that went according to Hoyle. UAB 52, Alabama State 42, a shootout. Again, UAB's Division I, but Alabama State is not. And our big play, Nebraska 20, Cincinnati 17. Again, over-under was 53, which was way too high. Nebraska with, you go under 59.5, 59. And Nebraska, just with the tough defense, the quarterback stinks. And that's what you got against Cincinnati, who pretty good team at home. And that's what it was. It was 20-10, and it ended 2017. Wisconsin 17, Miami of Ohio nothing. They were laying 17. I thought it would be a defensive game. Miami of Ohio is an under team. They don't score much, but they got an 18 defense. Wisconsin, we're trying to figure out. 23 defense. So the total on the game was 40. I did think it would be an under because Miami of Ohio is an under team, right? So it was 200 teams playing. under 46, 17-0. There you go. So that played to form. San Diego State 42, Stony Brook 0. I mean, you can't get anything out of that. So what I do is I'll check like the box scores to see. I'm looking for quarterbacks and running backs balanced. Oh, the running back got 100 yards. Like Boise, I looked at the box score. They didn't have a running back at all. I mean, they missed Gentry, right? They're one-dimensional, and South Florida played inspired. I saw the first drive when I was on the bike at the club, and he threw a short pass, and the guy fumbled it. And I said, Boise is in trouble right away if the guy's fumbling a pass. So UCF or South Florida came to play. How good they'll be, we'll see. I think they'll be good against their normal conference opponents. They're not going to be good against Alabama, Georgia, teams like that. What we're looking for is Tennessee's defense, Ole Miss's defense. Is it going to be the same? Georgia, we know what we're going to get. Alabama, we know what we're going to get. Florida State, little unknown. LSU, Clemson, I think we know what we got there. So anyway, so far we are now 2-0 on the season. Iowa State last week, and now we hit Nebraska under, which that's why we identify the teams. They are an under team, Nebraska. Great defense, not great quarterback, not great offense. But I think he plays to the defense. Matt Rule is like, he coached, I think, Carolina, and he sucked. But I think he coached Baylor, and they were pretty good. But he coaches to the defense. So with Nebraska, he's just going to run the ball a lot and let the defense win the game, which is perfect. Then we can bet them under. Very rarely will they go over unless they play Ohio State, who's rolling, or, a good Oregon, something like that where they can get run on. But if, let's see what Michigan looks like. But if Michigan has that normal defense, then Nebraska, Michigan would be an easy under. All right. So let's look at what we got today. Being Friday, August 29th. And we don't have many games. Army plays Tarleton State. I mean, we want to watch Army's new quarterback. I'm sure he'll be good. App State, 3.5, 49.5. This is down from 7, minus 3.5. But the total hasn't changed. It was 50, it's 49.5. So something's going on, but it didn't affect the total, which is, so if the quarterback was hurt, the line would drop, but the total would drop. So this is weird. Charlotte, I don't see as a very good team this year. They were a Z team last year with the 35 defense, and App State was an O team with the 33 defense. Both have new quarterbacks. Charlotte with a new coach, and App State with the new coach. First time he's coaching. So this is a total unknown game. New coaches, new quarterbacks. So I don't know where the line is. How can you bet Charlotte? What are you betting? Western and Michigan State, 21, 49.5. Up from 20.5. Not a big movement. And 49, the total hasn't moved. Western Michigan was an over team with the 31 defense. They have a new quarterback, same coach. Michigan State, same quarterback, same coach. They were a W team. They didn't score a lot, and they had a 26 defense. Now, they were pretty good at Oregon State, but now with this quarterback, Childs, this reminds me of Nebraska with Adrian Martinez. They kept trying to do something, and he was terrible. That's why he was like on a team, Adrian Martinez, I can't remember which team, and it's like, really? You're using this guy? Unbelievable. So Michigan State, I don't know where they warrant being a 21-point favorite. They don't score a lot. Their defense isn't great. Western, you got the new quarterback, but I'm sure he's decent. So I think they could be a live dog here. Now, I'm not betting this game. I'm just saying It seems like the spread's a little too high for the type of team Michigan State is. And they might have gotten some big transfers in, but it takes time for the transfer to blend with the team. You can't just, we're bringing in Joe Namath, and all of a sudden we're going to be great. I mean, we see that in the NFL a lot. Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets. It takes the Jets a while to assimilate Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't the first game come in. In his case, he got hurt. Tennessee State at Wake Forest. Wake is 17 and 50, 51 and a half. Down, I had it at 52. Kennesaw State's a Z team, new quarterback and a new coach. First time he's ever coaching. And Wake Forest, a new quarterback and a new coach. They're an ACC team. They're laying 17. They were an over team last year, but then again, they got a new coach and new quarterback. Who knows what they're going to do? Can you bet against Kennesaw State? Maybe. But you're going into the unknown. You don't know coach or quarterback, so no play. Illinois plays Western Illinois, no line. Illinois is a good team. They should spank them. Kansas Wagner, I think Kansas puts up 70 in this game, but again, there's no line because Wagner's a high school team. Auburn Baylor. Auburn 2, 58 and a half. Auburn was 1, Baylor was 1, then Auburn's been 2 and a half. So they're 2 and 58 and a half, up from 57 and a half. Auburn was a B team. They get a new quarterback, Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma, and Hugh Freeze, the coach. So they should be a offensive type of team with those two. Baylor, we know them. They're an over team with the 25 defense. Love the quarterback, Sawyer Robertson, and the coach. So Baylor definitely can score. They should have another big offensive year. Baylor, TCU, Texas Tech, the normal Big 12 who score a lot. And that usually comes from the coach. If you have an offensive-minded coach, like South Alabama's got Major Applewhite, who was a quarterback, so they score a lot, and that's who the North Carolina quarterback is, Gio Lopez from South Alabama. So he should be pretty good, and Belichick will take care of the defense. So North Carolina could be decent, depending on how good Belichick's girlfriend calls plays. So we'll see in this game. Total of 58, you got 52, 28, 24. Yeah. Should be in that neighborhood, I would imagine. Two good quarterbacks. Surprised Baylor's a home dog. I think that's kind of a mistake, but we will see. Georgia Tech, Colorado. Georgia Tech 4, 51 and a half. Georgia Tech, great quarterback and Haynes King, great coach and Key. They should be better this year just because it takes the coach a few years. Even with Haynes King, they made some steps forward last year. They played Georgia real tough. And now here they are again, and they know the system and the quarterback's there. That's why you can't just jump if they transfer in the first year and you're going to get the guy like, oh, let's bet him. It takes time to learn the system, and depending on who you got and the coach to learn the quarterback and everything else. This is why the Detroit Lions are in trouble, because with two new coordinators, look at them to the Eagles. They went to the Super Bowl and they lost to KC, I believe. I think they lost to KC a couple years ago. Maybe they won. I don't remember. And then they got rid of their coordinators. I think they won. They got rid of their coordinator. Now, they didn't beat KC because KC's only lost to Tampa, and they lost to last year to Philly. But Philly had won the Super Bowl or been to the Super Bowl, and then they switched coordinators, and they sucked. It's important because they got to get used to the players and what to call the game and what the overall strategy is for the defense and the offense. Like Nebraska, they played to their defense yesterday. That's because the coach has been there and the coordinators have been there. The Lions have no idea. And since they don't play in the preseason, week one's going to be a preseason game for them. But Green Bay's got Micah Parsons now. It's not going to be a preseason game for them. You'll have to learn Parsons. He won't just come in and make 10 sacks. He'll probably be excited that he got paid, and he'll probably have a real good game. I would just line him up right up the middle, and who's going to guard him? Ragnar's gone. The guard's gone. You just don't put him in front of Penny Sewell. You go to the guard and let him just wreak havoc there. See, that's the problem with overpaying your linemen. You can only guard one guy, but the defensive guy can line up anywhere he wants. You can go line up on left tackle. You can line up on left guard. Mean Joe Green right over center. So it doesn't matter how good your line is, because the defense can line up wherever the hell they want. That's the problem with paying a lineman that much money. So anyway, so Colorado, Georgia Tech, again, with Haynes King. So they're there. They got comfortable. Colorado, you got Prime. You got a new quarterback, Salter from Liberty, who's 11 touchdowns and 11 picks, but he runs the option and that. So is Colorado going to switch to the option? Is that easy to switch? Look at Wisconsin. They had Van Dyke, and they tried to switch to a run and shoot, and that was miserable. So they didn't know how to use Van Dyke. So apparently they didn't know how to use who they got now. They had 17 points on Miami of Ohio. Colorado, we'll see. It's going to be, get used to the quarterback from Liberty. Now he's going against Georgia Tech. Big difference. I don't know how good a coach Prime is. 22 defense last year, not bad. Georgia Tech 25. I look for Georgia Tech to be a better defense and Colorado to get worse. And Colorado, when they need to throw, can Salter throw? He's not a good – it was 11-11 as a quarterback. So I would be all over Georgia Tech if they were the dog here. I've got to be careful as a road favorite. They should beat Colorado, but we'll see. It's a tough one. UNLV and Sam Houston, Vegas, 9.5, 61.5. Down from 10.5. 61. That line hasn't moved. Vegas was an 18, but their coach went to Purdue, so now they've got a new coach. Dan Mullen from Mississippi State. Sam Houston, quarterback's back, but they got a new coach now. Their coach went to Temple. So now, again, we don't know. They were an under team with the 20 defense. They played week one and got killed by Western Kentucky with their quarterback from Abilene Christian. They couldn't handle a good passing attack. Does Vegas have that? We don't really know. So right now it's a let's see, but we do know Sam Houston is pretty weak. Vegas, they were a pretty good team. Dan Mullen, he handled Dak Prescott. It was pretty weak. Central Michigan, San Jose State. San Jose State, 13.5, 51.5. This is up from 11.5. Then it went to 12. Now it's 13.5. And the total hasn't changed, 51, 51.5. Central was a W team with a 30 defense. Quarterback's back, but a new coach who's never coached before. Always a problem. San Jose State was an even team with a 26 defense. The quarterback's back, and the coach we like from Navy is the coach. He'll be pretty good. He'll get them disciplined. He'll play. The defense will get better. I don't know. It's a bit high, this number, I think. But you're probably betting against Central Michigan, and they have to go to California. And it's on at it's a 10:30 game, which is late. Like if I went to California and I had to play at 10:30, it'd be late. I'm not up at 10. You're getting ready for bed at 10:30. You're not ready to start a football game. So by the third quarter, you're exhausted because it's 11:30. It's like 12:30, and you're playing. So a huge edge for San Jose State to get this game at 10:30. And you got a new coach and quarterback for Central. Or no, you got the same quarterback, but a new coach. And the quarterback wasn't great. So, you give an edge to San Jose State. I think it's a big number, 13 and a half. Total of 51, I don't know because of the new – I'd almost think it's an under because of the Navy coach probably trying to coach under, but you can't really play it under because both defenses were like 30 and 26. So we'll see. San Jose State should win the game, but again, it's a big number, 13 and a half. And now we go to Saturday. So that's today's games. I do have one play today. That's it. And then most of my action is starting tomorrow. So I do have the play today. So I had Nebraska yesterday, Iowa State last week. We got one play today, and then we are off and running tomorrow. Our free picks, Ohio State, Texas under. Ohio State's now a half-point favorite, which you were not interested in at all. We play the game under because they're not going to score. I'm expecting the Nebraska score of 20-17 in that game, if they even get to 20. But you can see it's going to take the offense a while. Now, on South Florida, it didn't because they have the same quarterback. Both Ohio State and Texas have new quarterbacks. Ohio State's got new coordinators. Chip Kelly's not there. It's going to take him a half just to get a first down. And the same thing for Texas. Ohio State knows this, and Ohio State's going to be all over Arch Manning. It's going to take him a half to get a first down. So you're not looking at a whole lot of points unless you get block kicks or pick sixes or something, or strip sack fumble recoveries. That's the only way this game does not stay under is if they do that. If it's just a normal game and they punt, and field goals, you're not going to get a team hitting 20. Like the Wisconsin Miami Ohio game, 17-0. That's about what we're expecting in that game. All right. Old Mississippi State 13. This is tomorrow now. This is starting at the noon games. Old Mississippi State 13.5, 61.5 against Southern Miss. As I told you, Southern Miss is now Marshall, the coach and the quarterback, and he's a very good quarterback, is now at Southern Miss. I don't know if they're going to be an over team or not. Marshall was a B team last year. They averaged 26 a game and gave up 23 or something like that. Very good defense. Can they play good defense? Well, they're not going to play good defense against Old Mississippi State week one. They might play in the Sun Belt. So keep an eye on this. I don't know. This could be an over. It's 61.5. But again, it's new coach, new quarterback. So we have to keep an eye on it. And they probably play decent defense. So it'll be slow. And then the second half, you'll see the fireworks. So it could get close to that. It's a big number, though, 61. Syracuse, Tennessee, 14, 50.5. I've seen 13.5 here if you're interested. Syracuse, a new quarterback. And Jelly, who was a backup at Notre Dame. I don't know if this was last year or 2 years ago. And Tennessee has a new quarterback, Joey Aguilar, who's very good from App State. Both teams have the coach back. Tennessee, now here's what gets you is Tennessee with this 14 defense last year. James Pierce gets drafted first round by Atlanta. Now, are they going to be as strong defensively? So you got to be careful here. Can I bet over? But wait, if Tennessee's got this 14 killer defense, it's not going to get over. A total of 50. Now, normally this would be an easy over because Tennessee would light it up at home, and they really don't play the good defense. So this is where, like Tennessee and Ole Miss, are they going to have the same defense? That's the key question. You're laying 14. It's tough. I think Tennessee wins. I don't know if they got to cover 8. Should handle it, especially if they have the killer defense. I don't know. I don't, but then you got Syracuse with the Notre Dame backup. Well, he went to Notre Dame. He must be good, right? Well, except for Drew Pine and some of those guys. So, um, all I know is Joey Aguilar and the coach is a good offensive coach. So, Tennessee should put up some points, but how good their defense is, we don't know. Ball State of Purdue 17.5, 49.5. Purdue, new coach, new quarterback. Ball State, new coach, new quarterback. Who knows? Is Purdue going to be a Z team again? Ball State was an over team. So a total of 49.5. I would think you'd get points in this game, but not sure. Texas, Ohio State won 47.5. That really hasn't moved, although it went 1.5, 2, 2.5, now back down to 1. I don't know who's playing games with this. Must be the Sharps. You got to be nuts to take Texas or Ohio State in this game. Maybe Texas is the dog if you teased it up, but I think you got to be careful there. The under's the best play, under 53.5. Where are they going to get that? 2 elite defenses and 2 weak quarterbacks. I'm not, Arch Manning, show me. All right, so light up Ohio State, then I'll be an Arch Manning fan. Until then, I'm not. He didn't do anything in 2 years. 9 touchdowns, 2 picks against, a high school team. So I'm not sold at all. Florida Atlantic and Maryland 1461.5. We've got, where is that? Both teams were 30 defenses. Florida Atlantic was an over team, but they got a new quarterback, Volkamp, and a new coach first time. And Maryland, a new quarterback and a returning coach. Their quarterback transferred. So they still have the 30 defenses. I don't think that's going to change. The question is their offenses. So we'll see. Northwestern, Tulane 5.5, 45.5. Northwestern was a W. They did pick up Stone from SMU. Is pretty good. Tulane was an A team, and they got the BYU quarterback, and the coach is back. Tulane's been a very good team. Their coach, I think, Willie Fritz, and he moved to Houston, and now you've got the guy from Troy as their coach, and we will see. Well, I don't know. I mean, you would think Tulane should win at home, but Northwestern was Stone. I don't like Northwestern's coach as much as I like Fitzpatrick. So I could see Tulane winning, but it's going to be, you got to be careful here. Northwestern could get the upset and you wouldn't be surprised. Toledo, Kentucky 10 and 47.5. Both are 22 defenses. Toledo's a very good MAC team, quarterback and coach back. New quarterback for Kentucky, a guy from Georgia who I never heard of. This line has jumped from 8.5 to 10. Very interesting. I don't know. I wouldn't lay 10 to Toledo. Toledo's a good team. Kentucky doesn't have offense. I don't know. I don't buy that. Let's see. Old Dominion and Indy 23.5, 53.5. I think Indy is very good and be very good this year. The key's the coach. He's back. New quarterback, Mendoza from Cal, who is okay, not great, but okay. Old D, returning quarterback and coach. They were a B team. They were an over team with the 28 defense, with Indy with the 14 defense. Indy at home. We got to see how good Old D is. I mean, it's a big number. Indy should win the game comfortably, I would think, but it's a big number. We don't know how good Old D is. They had a 28 defense, but they were they could score, and the quarterback's back and the coach is back. So this could be a late cover. I mean, who knows, but it's a big number. Marshall, Georgia 38.5, 53.5. Georgia with the kind of the new quarterback. We know we love the coach, Marshall, new coach, new quarterback, 47 players left. You love Georgia in the game, but 38.5, it's a big number. I doubt Marshall scores in the game, so we'll have to see. But 41-0 Georgia, 44-0 Georgia sounds about right. Nevada, Penn State 43.5, 55.5. Again, the same thing. We don't really know how bad Nevada is. They were an E team last year with the 28 defense, and Penn State obviously an A team with the 16 defense. The quarterback and the running backs are back. Nevada's got a new quarterback and the same coach. So the problem with Penn State is just like baseball, how are the third stringers? Can they score for you? So they'll get up 35-0, and then here comes the subs, and then here comes Nevada playing against the third string, and they could score. So it's a big number, 43.5. Can Penn State cover that? I don't know, because Urban Meyer knew the line and would cover the line. There'd be 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. He'd need a touchdown. He'd get a touchdown. He'd throw the ball. He'd do whatever. He'd take a timeout. I think he did that against Michigan. Took a timeout to score with like 10 seconds left. So here, James Franklin, I don't know. It's a big number, and Nevada's not a Z team, so be careful of that. My Iowa State plays South Dakota. They'll probably kill them if you can find a number. Temple, UMass, Temple 2.5, 48.5. They have the new coach from Sam Houston. Sam Houston was a pretty good team last year. UMass is terrible. Their quarterback's from Yale. They go to Yale for a quarterback. I love that. So they're 2.5. I've seen it 1.5, 2.5, 48.5 is the total. I'm this close to taking Temple. It's just, how do I take Temple? I mean, they're so bad. They're a Z team, but with the coach, they'll be better. UMass is a Z team with a Yale quarterback. I love it. Both have 35 defenses, so it's hard. But Temple should not be a Z team and should be better this year. So we will see what happens with that. Alabama, Florida State. Alabama 14 and 15.5. We know Alabama has got to bounce back. A new quarterback who could not beat out Melrose scares me. Florida State's got the Boston College quarterback. Look for Florida State to be pissed off. I love the coach. I love both coaches here. I don't know which way to go with this game. I don't know how strong Florida State's offense is, and supposedly they have a good defense. Alabama should have a good defense, and we know how good DeBoer is as an offensive guru, but this is Milrose's backup. He couldn't beat Milrose out. So you really question this. I think Alabama will be good, but I think the numbers are a bit high at 14. No, thank you. I don't want Florida State in 20. So then is total, but you don't know if it's an over or an under. So this is a mystery game to me. I think Alabama wins. I don't know if they cover 8. Florida State will give it all, but I think Alabama gets the W, I think. If you're twisting my arm, I would take Alabama, but too many points. Iowa plays the University at Albany. Ooh, big opening game for them. Coastal Carolina, Virginia 12, 57.5. Look out for Virginia this year. Good quarterback from North Texas, threw 35 touchdowns last year. Now, will they run a similar offense for them? Would be, if they do, then we're going to be betting Virginia a lot. Coastal Carolina, it's a totally an over team, 30 defense, new quarterback, returning coach. So the difference is the new quarterback for Virginia is from North Texas, who's a good one. The one from Coastal Carolina, we don't know. So they're 12 now. They've been 11.5, and 58.5, 57.5. It's a tough one. Neither team really has a defense. So if the North Texas kid does what he did at North Texas, then I like Virginia. But again, I don't know what Coastal Carolina's got. And both defenses are 30s. So again, this is a watch and learn game. But I do am taking notice that Virginia's quarterback. Let's see, UTSA against A&M. A&M 23.5, 56.5. I would be all over UTSA getting these points with McCown, very good quarterback. Same coach, same quarterback. A&M's got a new quarterback, Reed, in returning. Although Reed did play a little, I don't know. Reed's one of these dual quarterbacks, but I don't think he can throw that well, which we'll see. Like the Arkansas quarterback, Talon Green, not a really good thrower. So people get all excited because he can run. Well, I want a quarterback who can throw. I want the North Texas quarterback. I don't want these running. I don't want Uglia Buglia. I don't know why they think you have to have a running quarterback. It's incredibly stupid. You don't need a mobile quarterback. You need one that can go up to the line, see the play where he's going to run it, take his normal 3-step drop and throw the ball. And you don't need to be mobile. Mobile quarterbacks don't work unless they can throw. Just Jalen Daniels, the Jalen Daniels on Kansas. Jalen Hurts, mobile, but he can throw. Josh Allen. But you're better off with Joe Burrow and Mahomes, who are really not mobile quarterbacks. Mahomes a little, but he's really just trying to buy time to throw the ball to Kelsey. So that's what they're doing there. So keep your eye on that. So again, give me any other in a normal game. I'll love UTSA in 23 points, but you got to be a little bit afraid of their A&M defense. Like if they were to play Alabama or Georgia, they wouldn't score, even though you think, well, they have a good offense. But against A&M, I do think I think they'll make it a ball game. Let's see. USC and Missouri State. USC 35.5, 59.5. Missouri State was an explosive team, Division II. They scored 35, 38 in a lot of games, and their defense wasn't great. USC's similar, only they didn't score much last year. They do have the UCLA defensive coordinator, but we haven't really seen their defense improve. Just a second. Hello? Hello?
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm teaching.
Can you pick me up from my clinic and we can go get lunch or something? If I already go there.
Yeah, what time?
Just call me when you're done teaching.
Okay, because I got to go to the library, so I got to make time. I just got to copy some papers. So.
Okay. All right.
Talk to you later.
Oh.
So USC should have a good offense. Their defense is should be better with the UCLA defensive coordinator, who is very good. But they had some really good players on that defense. So the question is, you got USC laying 35.5 against an explosive Division II team. Will they be an explosive? Will they score? And total of 59.5. It could be your play. Again, our free play is Ohio State, Texas under. So that's the only free play. And then I have one in the pros, which I'll talk about when we talk pros. So 35.5, 59.5. I think you're looking at 59.5. I think probably the over would be a good play here, provided Missouri State, who we have no idea because it's Division II, are they going to score 30 points on USC? Probably run some good plays, and probably who knows who the coach is. So I don't know. That could be the way. I don't know. 35.5 against an explosive Missouri State team, be it Division II, you're going to get backdoored pretty bad. I don't know that USC goes 60-0 here. They might go 60-50, but we'll see. But again, it's just we don't know Missouri State, except for looking at what they did last year. New Mexico, Michigan. Michigan 34.5, 49.5. Have no idea. Underwear, the new quarterback. Have no idea. Good high school, but he's not playing a high school. He's not playing Brother Rice High School. 34.5, that's a big number with the new quarterback. New Mexico is an explosive team, but they have a new coach, new quarterback. We have no idea with New Mexico. I can't. I would think it would be low scoring, but I have no idea. This Underwear might be superstar, and they might score 60 points. So we got to be careful the first game. Let's get a look at them. LSU, Clemson. Clemson 57.5. Two good quarterbacks, two good coaches. Should be a very good game. Live dog in LSU, probably. Games at Clemson. I mean, I would have to take the dog over taking Clemson laying, getting 2, because LSU can obviously win the game. They play Alabama and Georgia. This is nothing like, oh my God, they're going into Clemson. Not a big deal. So LSU live dog is all I can say. And we'll see. It should be a good game. 7:30 Saturday night on ABC. We get to watch it. UTEP, Utah State. Utah State 6.5, 60.5. UTEP was a Z team last year. Utah State, I think, was pretty bad also. Where is it? Utah State was an over team, but a terrible defense. Utah State did bring in the quarterback from Utah, Brian Barnes, who was and then they brought in Bronco Mendenhall as the coach, who's a good coach. He was a BYU coach and a Virginia coach. So look for Utah State to improve this year. Byron Barnes got to be an improvement from what they had last year. Well, they were an over team, so we'll see what happens in this game. Georgia State and Ole Miss, we are watching to see how Ole Miss is this year. They probably will score, but are they going to have that strong defense? It looks like they won't. They're a 61.5. 34.5, 61.5. I don't know. Georgia State was a W with a 33 defense. So really, really hard to play the over in the game and really hard to play Georgia State 34.5. But then you got Ole Miss with the new quarterback. So we got to see who he is. Rice, Lou Lafayette. Love Lou Lafayette. Lou Lafayette, 11.5, 47.5. I don't know if I love him in this game, but I do love Lou Lafayette. Rice was an under team, 25 defense. You got a new coach, new quarterback. Lou Lafayette, 11.5, 23 defense, new quarterback, same coach. Usually these guys are, pretty consistent. It's a big number for Lou Lafayette. If it was 7, I'd Lou Lafayette -1, but 11.5 is a tough number. 47.5, I have no idea. Their defenses were 25 and 23, so they're not Z teams. They're not 30 defenses. So we will watch and learn. Eastern Michigan, Texas State. Texas State 13.5, 58.5. Texas State, very good offensive coach, very explosive. Their quarterback, Jordan McLeod, last year. I don't know. I watched the game with Daniel Jones, and there's Jordan McLeod available. Like, you got to be kidding. Like Kyle Trask. Watch Hooker. He'll probably take over the starting job at Carolina. I heard he went to Carolina. He's much better than Bryce Young. I mean, Jesus. What did Bryce Young ever do at college, right? Oh, yeah, he ran 20 yards to set up a field goal at the end of the Alabama-Texas game. That's his claim to fame. He ran. Texas State 13.5, 58.5 against Eastern. Texas State was an A team with the 24 defense, explosive offense. Eastern was an over team, 28 defense. Both have new quarterbacks. Kim is the Eastern quarterback, used to quarterback at Michigan State. He was pretty lousy. Same coach is back. It's a big number, 14, against a team like Eastern with a Michigan State type of quarterback. The defense is 28 and 24. The total of 58. That's interesting there. Watch the North Texas Lamar game. Let's see how the new North Texas quarterback looks. East Texas A&M against SMU. Where did they find it? There's another Texas A&M. Georgia Southern, Fresno. All of a sudden, Georgia Southern's 1.5, 51.5, because I said they were a live dog. Georgia Southern's a good team, an over team, 27 defense, same quarterback and coach. Fresno State, we saw them last week. They get crushed, but that was against Kansas, who's a very good team. So it's not a surprise they got buried by Kansas. It'll be a surprise at home if they get buried by Georgia Southern, but I think they're kind of weak. New coach, new quarterback. So I like Georgia Southern as a dog, but now they're favored. Don't like them as much there, but I think they still get the W. Cal and Oregon State, interesting game here. Both were E teams. Cal with a 22 defense, Oregon State with a 30. So I don't know how they're an E team. Both have new quarterbacks, but Oregon State's got Malik Murphy, who was at Texas, then went to Duke, and he was very good at Duke, and now he's at Oregon State. The same coaches. Oregon State 1.5, 49.5. Love the coach at Cal, Justin Wilcox, very good. Don't know the Oregon State coach that well. This should be a very good game. I think Malik Murphy might be the difference maker. Hawaii and Arizona. We're still Saturday night now, 10:30. Arizona 17.5, 52.5. The numbers come down from 55 to 52.5. New quarterback at Hawaii. Same coach. Now, we saw the quarterback has a high ankle sprain in the game last week, so I doubt he's playing. That's why the line shot up. Arizona, 32 defense, same quarterback, Noah Fahita, who was very good, and same coach who was very bad. He took a very good program and he's fucked it up. The Arizona coach, when they were very good, when they were shutting out Caleb, is now at Washington. So that's why we're licking our chops with Washington. And then you've got a W team, Arizona. So this is a new coach coming in and fucking up the system, not going to the players. So we will see. Colorado State of Washington, 21.5, 53.5. They have the quarterback from last year played like 1 or 2 games, is now looking good. So supposedly he's a very good dual threat. He can run, but he's a good passer. He's a good leader. They're working on their defense. So look for Washington to contend for the Big Ten. They got Colorado State, who's an E team last year, 24 defense, same quarterback and coach. They're a good Mountain West team, not a great Mountain West team. So if Washington is what we think they are, they should get the W here. But it's a big number, 21.5. I'd be more comfortable if we got it under 10. So a little bit high there. Utah, UCLA. Utah 5.5, 51.5. Utah gets the guy, the coach, the quarterback from New Mexico, Devin Dampier. I knew it was a D. Devin Dampier, and 5.5. UCLA gets the volleyball quarterback. Both coaches are the same, but I don't know. Deshaun Foster's not that good. I love Utah's coach. He's much better. So UCLA with the 25 defense. Utah always brings a strong defense at 20. So Dampier against Igmagliga. I don't know how to pronounce the volleyball player. It was decent at Tennessee, not great, especially with Josh Heupel. I don't know what UCLA is, so it's going to be hard to say. And we will see. But we'll see. I think Utah's defense will be the key to this, and how good Igmagliga is for UCLA. I think he's okay. We weren't impressed with him at Tennessee, really. Just the fact he was a volleyball player. He had a few big games early against weak teams and then struggled against the better teams. So Utah's going to bring a big defense in here. Virginia Tech, South Carolina. South Carolina 7.5, 52.5. You got Norris for South Carolina. Virginia Tech drones. Should be a good game. It's at South Carolina. Both South Carolina's got a really good defense. Virginia Tech's a little bit worse. And I think the coaches are the same. Yeah, returning coach and quarterback. So South Carolina, the 18 defense, Virginia Tech 23. Norris is running. I think it's the difference here. Notre Dame, Miami of Florida. Notre Dame 2.5, 49.5. Notre Dame, CJ Carr, a new quarterback, a freshman. I think he's a freshman. But they got the stud running back and his strong defense, and they added some good receivers from other schools. So Notre Dame in a big game. I like the coach. Miami in a big game. I don't like the coach. They blew the Syracuse game. They made that the Ohio State backup quarterback look good. So Miami here, 2.5, 49.5. What can I say? The difference will be the coach. So the big edge to Notre Dame. Miami gets the quarterback edge. Carson back from Georgia. I assume he's healthy against the Notre Dame, but Notre Dame with the huge edge on defense and running back. In their last game, TCU, North Carolina. So North Carolina got Geno Lopez, the quarterback from South Alabama, so he's a good one. Goes against TCU and Hoover. Love the coach at TCU. Good quarterback, usually explosive. Belichick will come in with his defense. How quickly can they learn his defense? The girlfriend will be coaching the offense. So how good will their offense be? Who knows? I would like TCU as the dog in this game, but as the favorite, I got to be careful. You got to be careful. Belichick's defense, so it's hard to play the total in the game. 56.5. You really don't know. So that's college. So your free play is Ohio State, Texas. I have 5 teasers going. One's got Nebraska under in it, and one's got Iowa State getting the 9. So 2 halves are in. I got 4 more teasers. I go 1 team in a double teaser, and which means I tease them once, and I really like the game, and then I tease it again. I don't have a lot going in college. I think I'll have some locks going in the pros next week. Now, I have added, for your enjoyment, I have added an NFL game this week. So if you buy this week, you will get this NFL game, which you probably need to get now before the line jumps on it. And that free pick is Philadelphia over Dallas. Philly now 7.5. You can probably still get a 7, 47.5. I think if you wait till Thursday, it'll be 9. Free pick Philadelphia. Why? Because they don't have Micah Parsons. And it crushes a team that's counting on Micah Parsons. They look at Jerry Jones. They're like, what the fuck? Don't you want to win? You're not signing the best player. We know Dak Prescott's terrible. Now Barkley is going to run right through him, right? How are they going to stop Barkley without Micah Parsons? And they're going to score, and I think they'll just keep going in their defense. I know they lost a few Georgia players, but I think they got some new ones, and they're deep. You're usually 17, 18 players on defense. That's why I laugh about the Detroit Lions. They sit there, well, if everybody's healthy. Well, you're not going to play 11 guys on defense. You play about 18, and your back defense sucked last year. So when the guys got injured, the second teamers who were playing sucked. In preseason, your second and third teams suck. You gave up. You made Trey Lance look like a superstar. You made Quentin Ewers look like a superstar. I mean, what are you kidding me? So you made Davis Mills look like a superstar. Whoever's on Houston who sucks. And this is your second and third stringers. They're supposed to out there getting better. That's not what I saw. And your offense sucks, but okay. You didn't have your starters out there. Why not? They don't need practice. Oh, okay. Well, we'll see how many incompletions and interceptions are thrown in this first week. So now you add Micah Parsons to Green Bay, which is going to hurt the Lions, and then you've taken them away from Dallas. So free pick, take Philadelphia, lay the 1 before it goes to 9. That's why I put it on the board yesterday. I know you're not paying for that this week. You're just paying for college through Monday, and then week 2, college and the pros. So in week 1, though, we've got this. So take Philadelphia. I got a teaser out there, but Philly's the free play if you want to play with Ohio State under. Or if you buy, you'll get who I played Philadelphia with. But Philly with Barkley, they should just run right through Dallas. And Dak Prescott, 2 interceptions and not much running. They got CD Lamb, yes. And then they got the Pittsburgh guy who's crazy. So I'm not really sure what to do with that. But I like basically Philly's defense will shut them down, and Barkley will run through them, and I can't see Philly losing this game. KC 345.5 to San Diego in Brazil on Friday. Carolina, Jacksonville 346.5. Both teams are Z teams. Giants, Washington 645.5. Washington's loaded at running back, and we got Daniels, and we got McLaurin. I think they signed him. So look for why. I knew McLaurin would sign. I knew everybody would sign because you're not going to walk away from $20 million. It just isn't going to be. And you signed the 5th year, these rookie contracts. Don't sign them. Or just sign them for 3 years. I mean, it's bullshit. And then the guy, well, I'm really good. I want to get more money. Well, you'll play this year and you'll get more money next year. I mean, that's the way it works. Giants will be better. Russell Wilson. I'm not sold on Jackson Dart. Be careful with that. But Russell Wilson, Scatterboo will be good. And then Neighbors. So they will have an offense. So they will score the Giants. The defense, we'll see. Pitt, 338 over the Jets's. I can't believe the line's only 3. Arizona, New Orleans. Arizona, 6.5, 42.5. Again, Arizona, I don't see how they're favored. New Orleans, who's their quarterback? And they're going to suck whoever it is. Rattler's terrible. And Hayner's the best one, but I guess they don't like him. And then Rattler and Tyler Shaw is not a great quarterback. He was at Texas Tech. He got beat out, went to Louisville, didn't do much at Louisville. So these guys are just missing the boat. Oakland goes to New England. New England, 2.5, 42.5. Should be a very good game. I think Oakland's a very live dog in the game. Miami, Indy. Indy's now 1.5 point favorites with Daniel Jones and a 47. Are you fucking kidding me? How can Daniel Jones beat anybody? You got Tug, you got Tyreek Hill, so this game will be close. Cincinnati, Cleveland, Cincinnati 6 and 47.5. And look for Cincy to not start 0-3. Tampa, Atlanta, very good game. Tampa 2.5, 47.5. Frisco, Seattle, Frisco 2.5 up from 1.5 and 44. Tennessee, Denver 8, 41.5. Cam Ward's not all that. And look for Denver. They picked up some good defensive guys from the Niners. Bo Nix is very good. The Estamine, the running back from Notre Dame, is healthy. Look for Denver to challenge Kansas City. And again, the key is Sean Payton. People aren't understanding that. Houston against the Rams. Houston brings the defense. The Rams have a complete team. Stafford, Rams -2.5, 44.5. Detroit, Green Bay. Green Bay, this line moved to Green Bay 2.5, 49. Lions are in a little bit of trouble. They have no defense, and apparently they got to face Micah Parsons, and they have that linebacker number 7 from Georgia, and pretty good secondary. So look for Green Bay. Pretty live here. I don't know about the receivers, and I'm not a big Jordan Love fan. But Detroit, if they think they're going to flip the switch and go, they're out of their minds. Baltimore, Buffalo 1.5, 51.5. Great game to start. And Minnesota, the Bears. This is flip. Minnesota now 1.5, 43.5. Caleb starting. That's probably why. If Baggett started, I would consider to take the Bears. So let's look at the Bears. They're not starting their best quarterback because they drafted Caleb number 1, and they have to go with it, even though he sucks. And that's a problem. Let me see who's texting me. So again, interesting, but the problem is Minnesota with JJ McCarthy, who stinks. So the Bears are playing Caleb instead of Baggett. Baggett's a good quarterback, much better than McCartney, much better than Caleb, but we're paying Caleb. We drafted him first, so we got to play him. I mean, it's so stupid. So that's your NFL, your free pick. Ohio State under, your free pick. Philadelphia, get them now -7 to -1. Again, you cannot. The psychology of the team when you let a guy like Micah Parsons go says, oh, you're not trying to win, and you still have Dak Prescott. You still have big trouble, and you're playing Philly, who hates Dallas. So even though they get the ring, and I know it's a big deal, all we're asking them to do is win by one. And Philly with Barkley will win by one. That's what you have there. Let's quickly do baseball. Kyle Schwarber hits 4 home runs yesterday. What the hell? What kind of pitching is that? I mean, this is Atlanta. What do you don't know how to pitch to the guy? Walk him. The guy hits 2 home runs his first 2 times up. He ain't seeing a pitch the next 2 times up. Real quickly, St. Louis and Cincinnati. Cincinnati 135-9. Matthew Liberatore 6-11, 4.27 against Zach Littell. We like Cincinnati here. Liberatore stinks. Atlanta, Philly, Bruce Edwards against the Ranger. Oh, we're going Philly. Well, we're getting a pretty good day here. Cincinnati and Philly. What's today? 8/29. So we go Cincy, 2 units. Philly, we're going to go 3 units. Schwarber's hot. Tampa Bay at Washington. Adrian Hauser, 7-4 at 2.88 against Mitchell Parker with a 7-14. So we're going to go T-Bay, 2 units. Milwaukee, Toronto, Freddie Peralta, 15-5, 2.68 against Shane Bieber, 1-0 with the 1.50. I'm going to take Milwaukee because they're the best team because they have the best record. Apparently, that's what qualifies you as the best team. Although, oh wait, Kansas City had the best record over Philadelphia, and Philly won the Super Bowl. So I guess Philly was the best team. Miami and the Mets. Yuri Perez 6-3, 3.44 against Jonah Tung. 0-0 with an 0-0-0. No, throw it out. Seattle at Cleveland. Seattle, George Kirby, 8-6, 4.05. Logan Allen, 7-10, 4.35. Cleveland's fallen back to 500. They got their little spurt, and then they're playing the tough teams, and they can't handle it. No play. Pitt at Boston. At Fenway, a good offense against a weak offense. Paul Skeens going 8-9 with the 2.07. Peyton Toll 0-0 with the 0. We're going to go with Paul Skeens. We'll take Pitt. Pitt 2 units. The Yankees and the White Sox. Yankees -220-9. Carlos Rodon 14-7, 3.24. Yotis Gomez 3-1 with the 4.73. Yeah, probably like the Yankees, but I'm going to pass on it. But yeah, I think the Yankees, they're playing better, 74-60. Houston, California at Houston. Tyler Anderson, 2-8, 4.73 against Christian Javier, 1-1 with 5.40. No, thank you. San Diego, Minnesota. Nestor Cortez, San Diego, 2-2, 4.66 against Zevi Matthews, 3-4 at the 5.3. What a bunch of junk pitchers. Probably an over game, but I'm not playing it. Detroit goes to Kansas City. Kansas City's a big favorite. Chris Paddock, 5-11, 4.98. Not even a major league pitcher. Came from Minnesota. Seth Lugo, 8-6. We're taking KC. Detroit got swept by Oakland. I loved it. 2 units here. Now they got to go to KC. They can't steal the signs, so look for KC to get the W. The Cubs at Colorado. The Cubs 225-11. Cade Horton 8-4, 2.88 for the Cubbies. German Marquez 3-11, 5.6. Hey, we're going with the Cubbies. So a lot of games today. Texas and Oakland. Oakland 145-10. Jack Leiter 8-7, 381 against Jeffrey Springs 10-8, 415. Probably an over. The way Oakland hits School Bowl, they'll hit everybody now. But it's 10, a little bit high, but it's more of a softball park because it's in Sacramento, not Oakland. Arizona at the Dodgers, so I'm not playing it. But if you want to, it's an over. Zach Gallen 9-3 with the 9-13 with the 5-1-3 for Arizona. Blake Snell 3-2 with the. We'll go with the Dodgers. 2 units. And our last game, Baltimore against the 49ers. The Colts and the 49ers. What a good game that is. The Niners 157.5. Dean Kremer 9-9 with the 419 against Robbie Ray 10-6 with the 293. And with the travel, we're going to go San Francisco 2 units. So we're going Cincinnati 2, Philly 3, Tampa 2, Milwaukee 2, Pitt with Scanes 2, KC 2, Cubs 2, LA 2, and the Niners 2. So a full complement of baseball. That you've got the free pick Philadelphia over Dallas and the free pick Ohio State, Texas under. Everything's set on week 1, www.teaserking.com. So there's your homepage. You get my email if you want it. And then you go to purchase picks. And there you go. So you'd probably go to college this week. Well, actually, you need both because the pro will only show up as pro. So if you just want the college, you've got the Philadelphia game as a free one. So go to college, $75. You're going to get 5 teasers. Now you've already got Nebraska in, and you've already got Iowa State in. You've got the Ohio State free pick. You got the Philly free pick. So you got 4 other. You've got 4 other teasers. So I always put about 4 or 5 teasers in at least. It's whatever I find is what I put up. If I like the game, I play it. Just like baseball, I didn't look for 8 games, but I found 8 games today, but I have no idea. If it's a good matchup, I do it. And the same thing in college football and pro football. Pro football probably have 5 teasers week 1. So I haven't put up those. I have put up the college are all put up. All today's and tomorrow's game are all put. And good luck with that. Again, it's 75, but you're getting 5 teasers. No locks yet. There was one game I played twice, which maybe consider a lock, but I didn't lock it. Really couldn't find a partner to lock it. Usually I got to find 2 strong plays and then I lock it. So we will see. But that's what's going on there. Let's take a look at our gold. Whew, 34-37. Run, boy. And at 10 o'clock, it did not drop. It might start dropping a little bit now, but 34-37. And look at silver, 39-23. What a happy day. So silver is on its way to 40 now, and gold's on its way to 3,500. So it was sitting there for so long at 33.60, 33.70, 33, but it never tanked. And usually then everybody wants to buy gold, every central bank and regular bank. They just think central banks buy the gold. No, all the banks buy the gold. Believe me, JP Morgan's buying gold. It's not just the Fed. And in Russia, they got all the banks buying it. Putin's buying it, and Xi and the military and the pension funds and the citizens, they're all buying gold. It's the only out. The world is collapsing because it's all paper, and your only out is gold and silver. People will argue, and people will argue because of this video. I'm going to show you this 5-minute video. And then you'll understand when you talk gold to people, they won't get it. So again, France is in big trouble. So just use logic here. France, big trouble, possible bailout. They're going broke. Western economies collapsing. Africa blocks Western raw material supplies. Africa has gone on the gold standard, all of Africa, and the Western economies are collapsing. Again, what's happening? 4 million cars dumped, used cars. They can't sell them. The economy's in the shits. UK economy on brink of collapse. So the UK, you saw France, Germany, we've seen. Western economies collapsing. Everybody has huge debts and huge retirements and everything else. So what do you think's going to happen? All right, I'm going to show you this 5-minute video on the most dangerous book. It explains why people are kind of living in the matrix where they're just being told emotionally what to think and they just don't question it for some reason. We question it. I question it, right? I go, does that make sense? Gold at 2,000 an ounce. And I said, why? And then I dug in and found out it was comex and it was price fixed and the real price of gold was 10,000. So I asked the question. I'm analytical. I'm trained to think like that, not just to believe the sky's red and it's blue. So let's watch this for 5 minutes.
Are you here for Tracy?
We're here for everyone.
Yes.
There is a powerful book that tells you everything about controlling and influencing the masses. It is a manual for manipulating human behavior worldwide. It was the favorite book of this dark soul. And if you understand it, you can protect yourself from the Suki that try to take everything from you, just like they have done before. Here is what you need to know. Let me give you 7 central thoughts of this powerful book. At the end of this, I will reveal the name of it. Mass manipulation rule number 1. Crowds obey simple emotions, not logic. In crowds, it is emotion, not reason, that dominate. The collective mind is purely emotional. Crowds are controlled through fear, anger, and excitement. Rational arguments are ignored, while strong emotions spread rapidly. Mass manipulation rule number 2. Repetition creates belief. Affirmation, pure and simple, kept free of all reasoning and all proof, is one of the surest means of making an idea enter the mind of crowds. The key to manipulating crowds is to repeat a statement over and over, without explanation or evidence. Repetition hardwires it into the collective mind. Mass manipulation rule number 3. Visual symbols overpower words. Crowds, being only capable of thinking in images, are only to be impressed by images. Crowds react to strong visuals and symbols far more than complex ideas or arguments. What they see shapes what they believe. Mass manipulation rule number 4. Prestige paralyzes judgment. The special characteristic of prestige is to prevent us seeing things as they are and to entirely paralyze our judgment. When a person, institution, or idea is seen as prestigious, it silences doubt and critical thinking. Prestige blinds the crowd to reality. Mass manipulation rule number 5. Leaders mold the crowd's will. The crowd is led by the unconscious, but directed by a leader whose will has become its own. A leader doesn't argue or debate with a crowd. Instead, they embody the crowd's emotions, amplifying its desires and focusing its energy. And it doesn't matter if the leader has no experience or merit. Mass manipulation rule number 6. Crowds worship absolute certainty. Crowds are only to be influenced by ideas that are absolute, uncompromising, and simple. Masses don't like nuance. They like simple black and white ideas presented with a total conviction. Doubt and complexity weakens influence. And finally, of course, mass manipulation rule number 7. Illusions seduce crowds more than truth. Crowds have never thirsted after truth. They turn aside from evidence that is not to their taste, preferring to defy error. If error seduces them, facts don't matter if they contradict the crowd's feeling. A convincing illusion will always win over uncomfortable truth. The book that reveals all of this is The Crowd, a study of the popular mind by Gustave Le Bon, written in 1895. This is powerful knowledge. But understand this. Knowledge is more powerful if you read it, discuss it, and apply it in a circle of trusted, like-minded people. Grimm stands for free minds, classic values, and relentless cooperation. We need each other in grim times. Be honorable.
So what they're saying is, if it's in a crowd, you can lie to the crowd. They won't question it. They just believe it, or they just listen to it. And they don't want to hear that. They don't even want to know that. They don't want to know that the dollar's collapsed, or that the economy's shot, or that you need to buy gold. That's why when we try to tell people to buy gold, they don't listen, because they don't want to hear it. Because they were told that the dollar's fine, everything's fine, inflation's low, we're the US, we're the greatest country, and nothing can be. But nobody asks the questions. Nobody says, really? And then here I come questioning everything because they're all full of shit. But in a crowd, nobody will ask the question. They'll just take what they say at face value and believe it. This is why when I talk about the Lions, everybody in Detroit hears how great they are and isn't going to question it. But the smart people question it. The people that really want to know the truth question it. And they're the ones who survive and we profit. Look at gold, 34.37, probably be 34.60, 70 by the end of the day, on its way to 3,500 next week, on its way to 4,000, because we question it. It doesn't make sense. How can the dollar have a value? It's worthless. They printed it to death, because we know the one downfall of the dollar is the printing. But the crowd doesn't want to hear that. They don't want to hear the money printing destroys the dollar. What they want to hear is, well, they're the reserve currency. They'll be okay. Or we still have the petrodollar, even though we don't. We're not part of BRICS. BRICS isn't anything. Oh, bullshit, they're not. So people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear what comforts them. So if somebody says, it's okay to eat cake and ice cream, Johnny, then they'll eat it. And they don't realize, no, you don't eat it. It's fattening. It's bad for you. Hey, David, good morning. So that's what you have. I got to go get Alyssa, apparently. So what do you think of? Well, I already talked about that. I think it's, I gave the free pick of Philadelphia. That's what I think of it. I think Dallas is poorly run. Dak Prescott's not a good quarterback and will not win anything. I don't see how this benefited Dallas, making them a weaker team with not the quarterback. So I'm not really clear on, you just gave him away. This was a money thing. I don't want to pay you $40 million because I've already paid Dak Prescott and CD Lamb, and this Pickens I'm going to have to pay. And so what the NFL is starting to realize is you can only have maybe one or two of these elite players. The Lions are going to be in trouble because they signed their receiver and their quarterback and their right tackle. Why the fuck would you sign a right tackle to these 30, 40, $50 million contracts? You can't do it. And the problem is then when the Lions get injuries, which every team does, their backups are going to be grocery store clerks from Farmer Jack's. They're not going to be able to compete. They're not going to have good talent. So that's really the problem with it. So I think Micah Parsons was a financial decision. He didn't want to pay. And I agree. I was watching this thing on the Oakland A's and Oakland Athletics yesterday on YouTube. It was really good. And they showed that Walter O'Malley didn't want to pay the player. Couldn't afford the players because they were going to start to play. And Reggie Jackson says, if we would have stayed together and we would have taken less money, right? So if Joe Rudy got $10 million, he would have taken $5 million to stay on Oakland because it was such a close team. And he said that if they would have stayed together, they would never have lost. They'd won 3 straight, right? They would have won 10 straight because they had such a good team, and Raleigh Fingers and Catfish Hunter, Vita Blue. They had such a strong team that nobody would have beat them. But he couldn't afford it. And even though they would have taken less, and he just let all these superstars go. But that's what's happening now. They can't really afford the players. See, Al Davis was different. He kept the players, Lyle Elzado and John Matuzak and all Jack Tatum and Biletnikoff and Stabler, and they didn't really have good running backs. So that's why they really didn't win a lot. Mother Hubbard wasn't going to win you games, but Dave Casper did. So that was the difference. But you can see it happening now. Oh, the Lions will sign Goff for $50 million. What are they, out of their minds? Then they sign St. Thomas, 30, 40 million, and then you sign the right tackle for 30 million. You're out of your mind. So now you have no money for the rest of the line. You have no money for the other running backs. You have no money for your defense. And then you're going to have to pay Hutchinson, if he's healthy, $30 million, and you're dead. Then you won't be able to afford any other players, and it'll just be draft picks, and you hope you draft well because you don't have to pay the draftees. That's the key to the Lions. They got all these rookies and second years, so they don't have to pay them. But they're making there's a big problem when you pay your right tackle that much. Not that he's not good, but you can't pay your right tackle. You got to pay your defense. Your quarterback, your receiver, your running back are more important than the right tackle. You can replace the right tackle. You can't replace the running back like that. So anyway, that's what's happening. So Micah Parsons is strictly he's not good. He'll be better on Green Bay because Jordan Love is on a rookie contract, so it fits, where Micah Parsons is on a $30 million, $40 million contract. So that's what you see. The guys, the new quarterbacks are cheaper, and so they can afford the better players. But then when the quarterbacks roll over, you got to get rid of your better players because you can't afford them. So Mahomes signed a $50 million contract. Well, there ain't going to be anybody there. It's got to be a bunch of rookies that keep coming in that are good, that can win. Otherwise, they're in trouble. Philly, Jalen Hurts is still on a rookie quarterback, but you signed Barkley, and now all the defensive guys are cheap. But that's why they let them go. It becomes a salary issue. So I think Dallas will suck this year, and I think Green Bay will be much better than we thought. Adding Micah Parsons, you've got to be. So we will see. Anyway, that's the message I want to hear. So in a crowd, it'll be emotional. It'll be signs, the swastika, Coca-Cola, whatever. In a crowd, you'll go. You won't question if it's truth and honest or not. You just go with it. Let me see if Alyssa's what she's up to or doing, or what are we doing? So she wants me to pick her up when class is over.
3, 1.
But she doesn't answer the phone because I'm not going to go there unless she's still needs me. So I'll ask that question and we get an answer. Anyway, so that's what's going on. You see gold finally moving. It's going to go really big because, as you see, the UK, France, Germany, and the West are all bankrupt because they use monopoly money and you just can't keep printing it. For some reason, the Keynesians believe I can just keep printing and printing and printing and nothing will happen to the dollar, which is complete bullshit. But again, the crowd doesn't understand inflation. In fact, they lie about inflation. It's prices going up. When it's not, you're inflating the money supply. And that's what makes the money worthless. And that's why some prices go up, but not all. And that's what's happening. All these tariffs are fucking it up. I don't know. People think that we're getting a lot of money from tariffs. Well, if we are, why are we doing $100 billion treasury auctions that we're getting no money that the Fed has to buy? So we're buying our own treasury auctions. So it's really strange what they're doing. So I'm not, I definitely don't smell what they're cooking. We know the truth. We know reality. You can't keep printing the money. It becomes worthless. And your only out is gold and silver because you must have real money that can't be printed, which is gold and silver. Stop listening to Ray Dalio. He doesn't get it. Well, they took the money in the 1930s. They'll take it again. Guy's clueless. He doesn't even know what he's saying. That's bullshit. We were on the gold standard then. We're not on it now. And they're not going to take it. And who keeps their money in the bank anyway? So before you had to in the 1930s, how many people had safes and stuff like that? So now we can put it in safe places, not in the bank, like in these U-Haul storage and everything. All right, let's see. Hello. Hello.
Hey, I'll call you when you should leave because I may have to do something at the clinic. And if I do, then I'll call you when I'm done, okay?
Okay, I'm going to go to the library and wait for your call then.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, so let's see where are we at. 34.40. We are on a run, and silver at 39.33. What a happy day. 34.40. So this is it. This is the end of August. And what happens at the end of the month? Normally the prices go down because normally the prices go down, right? Because they're marketing it to market, whatever that means. But this is the end of the month and it's going up. And it's been suppressed for a while, like for a good month, it was in the 3,300s. I mark it in May, it was 34.10 or something. And then it sat in the 33s since May, June, July, August. Now, finally, the end of August, it's finally jumping back to 34.40 and silver 39.35. Once silver hits 40, it goes to 50. Gold 34.40, it's on its way to 4,500. Just delayed. They don't want to run it up too much. Well, bullshit. Everybody wants the higher. Once you have the gold, you want the higher price. So we will see. Anyway, I think that's it. So you've got college and you've got baseball's picks and you got the NFL free play. Take Philadelphia -1, take Ohio State under. Those are your free plays. Good luck on those. We've hit our first two games, Nebraska under and Iowa State. And again, this is why I ranked the teams. Nebraska, great defense, not a great offense, not a great quarterback. Cincinnati, a fairly good team. And they played a 2017 game, and the over-under was 53, teased down to 59. We're under 59. They scored 37 points in the game. So That's why we grade out the teams, but it's something that I can do that most people can't because I can really feel it, right? And I can tell you, I can look at Nebraska and go, they're an under team. And against Cincinnati, there was going to be an under game. If they played USC, I don't know that I'd be under on them, but we'll see if they play because USC with the big offense against Penn State, they might not be an under. So you've got to have both teams be under teams for you to go under on it. That's what I'm saying. But you got to feel out the teams. You got to eliminate, you got to know which games are meaningful. If they played a high school team, win 70-0, that's not meaningful. Unless they lose to the high school team, then it is meaningful. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Buy your gold, buy your silver. Happy Labor Day, Labor Day Monday. I'll, of course, be on. I'll be on tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, as football starts at noon. You got Ohio State, Texas at noon for some reason instead of at night. Real strange. So, you bet your Friday, but bet your best games. I had Iowa State with Ohio State, right? I loved Iowa State as a dog. And again, that's the feel I have knowing the game's even. But I've ranked the team. You have to know. It's just like gold and money. You have to know that the money's worthless, and you have to know then where do I go? And you have to know to go into gold. I see these Ray Dalio, this is going to be this and that's going to, but he doesn't explain anything to you. He just says, well, this is what happened before. Yeah, okay. So the key is to be in gold and silver. You need to be in a lifeboat, which is gold and silver, and you got to get out of the dollars. So if you have $100,000, you're fucked. Not going to be worth anything. And all these countries are going bankrupt, are going to make you not worth anything. So I will leave you with that. Get into gold and silver, and your silver's 39.35. Get it before it's 100. In gold, 34.41. Get it anytime you can. If you have to buy a quarter ounce or a tenth of an ounce, you can probably get a tenth of an ounce for 400 and a quarter of an ounce for about 975. At least you have gold, and then the half ounce is probably 2,000, and then the ounce is going to cost you 35.40 because it's $100 premium or more. So it's 35.50 or something like that. So keep an eye on that. That's what you want to do. 11 o'clock. So anyway, the market closes tonight at like 5:30. So be prudent of that. My club is closed for 2 days. They're doing construction. I can't believe it. So I can't even swim and ride my bike today or tomorrow. I will go walk the lake, and I will hit some golf balls. My back's feeling much better since I've been kind of loosening it up. I take the golf club and I kind of do this motion, and I put it behind my back and over my head, and it kind of helps my shoulders, and it helps my back, and it loosens it up. Probably scar tissue or whatever. So I'm swinging the golf club again. I'm very happy with that. I bought a 9-iron and a putter from Play It Again Sports. I might want to run out and get a 7-iron now. And I missed my Cleveland Voss putter. It was beautiful. It was a red putter, but a beautiful red. And it was a nice mallet head, and it was heavy, so you could swing through the ball very nicely, and you make good putts with it. So I might run to buy that again. Anyway, that's it. Africa is defending against the U.S., tried to invade them and couldn't. And Africa's got the backing of Russia and the whole Africa and all these, Egypt and Saudi Arabia and all these countries. Again, it's strength in numbers. So the U.S. went after Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein, but they tried to go over Tribari from Bokista Fato or whatever it is. And but now he's got a whole team, a whole network, many countries, and the U.S. doesn't have the military to attack them, and they're going to nuke them. I mean, that's all the U.S. can possibly do is nuke somebody. They don't have a military. They don't have an army. They don't have weapons. They gave them all to the Ukraine, apparently. And we have nothing left in stock. So we're fucked. So I don't know what they're doing. It's like the CIA. We're sending the CIA in. Anyway, so they're gold back. BRICS gold back. China's come out gold back. Russia, I'm sure, is very close to doing it if they haven't yet. their currencies are falling apart, and when in doubt, go to gold. You will have to go to a new currency because the dollar's worthless, but you need a medium of exchange so you can get paid. You take your money and you buy things. That's how an economy works, and there's nothing else you can do about it. So you have to do that. So anyway, I'm off to the library, and then I'm going to go walk the lake, and if I got to get Alyssa, it sounds like, that's fine. Ooh, 34:45. Oh, we are on a roll. Look at this motherfucker. This thing just straight up. What a happy day. Look at 39.37. It's funny how gold goes up $28, silver goes up 33 cents. We're waiting for the day when silver goes up $28, and then we'll all have a nice party. And meanwhile, that's all you can do. Who's texting me? Is this Alyssa? No. And that's what's going on. So enjoy your day. Watch your football. There's only one play tonight, but there's a lot tomorrow. So I would recommend buying tonight. If you're going to buy, if you have questions, please email me. My regular guys, don't worry. Usually the returning customers I take care of. Titus, where are you? Real D, come on, boys. Bobby, I don't know where Bobby is. He said he was getting sick, so I hope he's okay. Anyway, that's what's going on. So we've got our games, and now Sunday we'll pull in the data and we'll start analyzing this year's teams. Although we already saw Kansas and Fresno State, and we'll get a flavor. Ohio State, Texas should be good defensive teams. We know Miami, Notre Dame, LSU, Clemson. We'll get a good feel for those. And look at the surprise yesterday. You had Boise getting killed by Southern Florida, and then you had the high-scoring Rutgers, Ohio game, which you never thought would be high-scoring. So that's why we're watching those teams to see what are they really doing. So anyway, have a nice day. www.teaserking.com. If you need me, email me, and definitely buy. You got a lot of games tomorrow, and then you've got the Philadelphia game, which is in this week. And I'll roll it to next week. But I'd like to, when I do that, I want to give my customers the play and not wait till Tuesday, because Tuesday is when my plays hit for the following week. But I don't know. I would assume Philly will be a 9-point favorite. And so let's get them at 7. It's already up to 7.5, but you can still get some 7s. So anyway, have a good day. www.teaserking.com. Get the shit out of this and get into your gold and silver, because it's starting to run. And I'm telling you, it's the only lifeboat. It's the only, you can't go into British pounds or Canadian dollars or Swiss francs. You can only go into gold and silver. Now, I know the crowd is believing that inflation's low and our dollar's fine and everything's good, even though the used car market's crashing, the new car market's crashing, the dollar's crashing, inflation is through the roof, which is the supply of money. So the money's basically worthless. So you've got to understand that. All right. www.teaserking.com. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy your Labor Day, and I will see you tomorrow morning. I'll see you tonight if something pops like Micah Parsons. So I did a class last night just to tell you to take Philadelphia and a few other things. But basically, unless something like that happens, I will see you tomorrow morning. All right. Have a nice day, everybody. Enjoy your holiday.